everyone asked me for this recipe. Delicious and super easy to make. To start our recipe, I will need 3 eggs, 1 to 2 cups of oil, 1 cup of whole milk at room temperature, 1 teaspoon of salt. I will mix these ingredients very well. After mixing very well, I will add 2 cups of wheat flour. This cake is super easy to make, looks very pretty and tasty. Look, I'm going to add 100 grams of mozzarella cut into cubes. 1 or 2 chopped onion. 100 grams of ham cut into cubes. 170 grams of corn. 1 chopped tomato. Parsley and chives to taste. I'm gonna mix it with the help of a spatula. Look how colorful it is. And finally, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of baking powder so that our savory cake rises. I'm gonna mix until this yeast aggregates here in our dough. Now I'm going to move on to the pan, remembering that my pan is already greased and floured with butter and wheat flour. I'm going to add ham, mozzarella, corn, tomato, onion, and to finish, parsley and chives, remembering that it's optional, but for decoration, as we've already filled our cake very well. Now I'm going to put it in the preheated oven at 180 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes. Our cake is already baked. It looks beautiful. Tell me what you think in the comments. I'm gonna cut a piece. Look, it's still warm. Melted cheese is wonderful. Look how perfect. After I discovered this tingling dessert, I make it twice a week. It hit, it cooled, it's ready. There's no way to resist. Your family will love this recipe. Let's start by adding a 395-gram box of condensed milk to the blender. And if you like easy recipes like this, click the like button and comment below. I love easy recipes. Next, we're going to add 2 cartons of cream. Also add a cup of concentrated passion fruit juice. If you don't have it and want to replace it with packaged juice, it works too. I just don't think it will have the same flavor. To add texture and creaminess to our dessert, we will add 200 whipped cream ml. Next, we will add half a cup of powdered milk. Once that's done, we'll cover it and let it liquidize very well. If you're enjoying our recipes, leave us a comment below from which city you're watching us from. I want to send you a big hug, and thank you for sharing this recipe. Now, with the help of the spatula, you will remove the excess that remains on the sides of the blender. Okay, now it's perfect. Now turn off the blender and transfer the entire mixture to another container. And look at the texture of this dessert. It's very creamy. If you want to make a different, tasty dessert that will draw praise from your whole family, you need to make this recipe. Now let's add half a cup of chocolate sprinkles. Let's mix them very well. And look how our dessert is turning out. It's mouth-watering. Honestly, there's no way to resist. It's perfect to bring to the table on the weekend. Ready. Now let's add it to a serving dish. You can use whatever container you prefer. If you're looking for that light dessert, made with few ingredients, quick and delicious, this dessert is a hit. I'm sure it will leave your whole family mouth-watering. Finish by adding chocolate sprinkles. Then refrigerate for 4 hours or until firm. And our dessert is ready. Look how beautiful it turned out. Perfect. There's no way to resist. Now I'm going to remove a piece so you can see how consistent it is. And with that mouth-watering creaminess. If you make it once, you won't want to hear another dessert. And as you can see, it's quick, requires just a few ingredients, is incredibly delicious and melts in your mouth. Just look at this wonder. If you've made it this far, leave a rating from 0 to 10 on how you rate this dessert. I really hope you liked it. Now I'm going to stop here. A kiss to everyone, a big hug, and until the next recipe. Impossible cake, the famous 2-in-1 pudding and chocolate cake in one pan. Let's start by preparing the caramel for our pudding. Let's add half a cup of sugar to the pan. Then stir very well until the sugar melts completely. Once it melts, we will add half a cup of water. Then mix again very well until it becomes a beautiful caramel. Then spread the caramel on the sides of the mold and set aside. We will prepare the base of our pudding in the blender. We will add a box of cream. Also add 3 eggs. Then we will add a box of condensed milk weighing 395 grams. Then we will add a spoonful of vanilla essence. Now let's put the lid on and let it blend very well for approximately 2 minutes. Now pour all this mixture into the mold. And if you like easy recipes like this, click the like button and comment below because I love easy recipes. Now set aside the mold next to it. In another bowl, we will add 3 eggs. Then add a cup of sugar. Also add 3 tablespoons of butter. Now with the help of the mixer, we will beat very well. We will add 300 ml of milk. Next, we will add half a cup of chocolate powder. I'm using 50% cocoa. Also add 2 cups of wheat flour. Now just mix everything very well. And if you're enjoying our recipes, leave us a comment below from which city you're watching us from. I want to send you a big hug and thank you for sharing this recipe. Now let's add a spoonful of chemical yeast. Mix very well again until the yeast is incorporated throughout the dough. Okay, now it's perfect. Now add all this dough on top of our pudding base. You have no idea how wonderful this pudding cake looks. There's no way to resist. Your family will love this recipe. Now cover with aluminum foil. Then add this shape inside another larger shape. Next, add a little water into the mold. Then put it in the preheated oven at 180 degrees for approximately 50 minutes. And our cake is ready. Now just turn it over onto a plate. And look how perfect it turned out. One tip is to leave it in the fridge for 30 minutes. Then take the pudding, still in the mold, to the stove to soften the syrup. Once that's done, just turn it onto a plate and enjoy this wonder. If you've made it this far, leave a rating from 0 to 10, which rating you give to this recipe. I really hope you liked it. I'll leave it here, a big hug, and see you in the next video. Brilliant dessert ready in minutes. Place the cookies in a Ziploc bag and crush them with the rolling pin. Place the crushed biscuits in a bowl. Grind a banana in the blender. Pour the mashed banana over the crushed crackers. Add cocoa and mix. Spread the mixture on the cling film. Mix the cottage cheese with the blender with honey, melted butter, and vanilla sugar. Spread the cream cheese over the crackers. Place the whole tangerines on one side. Roll into a tight roll in the fridge for 2 hours. Melt the dark chocolate with vegetable oil. Pour the melted chocolate over the cookie roll. In the fridge for 30 minutes.
The recipe that conquered everyone. Knead a soft dough. Leave to rest for 20 minutes. Divide the dough into pieces. Leave for 10 minutes. Roll out thin sheets. Brush with melted butter. Overlap the dough sheets. Roll into a tight roll. Cut the dough roll into pieces. In the fridge for 30 minutes. Roll out thin sheets. Stir in chicken. With onions, mayonnaise, ketchup, seasonings for chicken, other spices, and vegetable oil. In the fridge for an hour. Place the meat on skewers. Wrap the meat in the dough. Brush with beaten egg. Bake for 30 minutes.